What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Taking a look at something that I've kind of like tangentially made a video about, but haven't really, and that's like Kashtira. Now, if you've followed my YouTube channel for any sort of time, you would know that I have used Utopia for a really long time now. I love the engine; it's my favorite in Yu-Gi-Oh. I love level 4 decks, and recently I've been exploring this little Fenrir package, meaning that it's a free special summon and it searches out a level 4 body. It locks you in XYZ summoning, but that's obviously not a problem for XYZ decks. So what if you do go all out, excuse me. Normally I'd only go for Fenrir, but there are times, right, like generally speaking, right, where you just open Rise Heart and that's bad because you can't use it. But what if you really go all out with it? Like what if you go 3 copies of, the planet, I don't think this is the real name, Pressured Planet, I don't think so at all. But you go 3 copies of that, you go 3 copies of Unicorn, and I think when you do that, you get a pretty cool stuff, really cool engine, especially for Kash-Utopia. It's probably the most important interaction. This card can only special summon itself when there's an XYZ monster. That's kind of a good extender, but if you get negated early, it kind of just stuck in your hand. It doesn't have a very easy special summoning condition. You have to have a little bit of setup. But if you are playing Kashtira, you can now get an XYZ monster on the board, plus a level 4 without ever normal summoning, which is huge. And if you have the field spell, you can like use it to use the effect to search, and also like besides searching numbers protect, you can also search like the really important cards like the Automata Pair and Automata Pickup. This is a little bit of a mess up. So this is like the ultimate end board. This should be a Gallic Granite, and then you search this Gigantus, and it's another level 4 body. So just imagine the same end board, except that you have an extra level 4. So this would be like Abyss Dweller or Tornado Dragon, something like that. So there would be one more interruption. I just messed it up, but you get the idea. So this is a pretty good end board, right? This is an Omni Negate technically. It's the first card your opponent activates, but it is an Omni Negate. This is also a Counter Trap Omni Negate. This is a Spell Negate. This is a like graveyard interruption. It lets you attach a monster from the graveyard. It's okay. There are no good level 7s, unfortunately, that you can interact during your opponent during their turn. And you can't go for Shangri-La because your board will be filled up. Now again, this is just a monster here, but this would also be like Tornado Dragon, so it's not really like a mess up. And then F-Zero. So it's pretty nice. I feel like Kashtira doesn't have the best end boards anymore, so could be worth it. My opponent's probably not going to be able to do anything here, which is pretty nice, right? Just switch this to attack. They all have like a gajillion attack points. I can negate. That's going to send it to the graveyard. He can add something to his hand. It doesn't really matter, right? It matters not, and that is going to be game. So let's take a look at pretty much the same thing here. This is against Spellbook. It's pretty consistent. As long as you see the field spell, you get like access to a whole bunch. And you can see Kash-Utopia here too. And in this case, I'm probably not going to grab the numbers protect, but I'm going to add the one that the Automata Para, so that my combo goes through. The consistency actually is kind of crazy. Like being able to use Kash-Utopia is huge at 3. Like normally it's kind of bricky and like you kind of need the setup for it, but now you don't. I didn't even normal summon yet, which is wild. And you can get rid of the field spell, which is really, really nice. And then you can kind of start your plays from here. I'm going to be able to target that. And I think like kind of like the same thing last turn. Like this isn't going to be Shangri-La. This would be the one that numbered monster that has the graveyard interruption. Because I'm literally going to have so many monsters on my board that like I can't use it. Like I can't use the Shangri-La effect. So I might as well be interruption, which I think is really fun. Like I think that's actually pretty cool. And then there we go. Tornado Dragon, Abyss Dweller, take your level 4 of choice. Those are just typically like the 2 best generic ones. So Omni Negate, which is pretty cool. Spell Negate, Monster Negate. This would be Graveyard Interruption. This is Tornado Dragon, which is not the best thing in the world, but it is okay. It's not the worst end board ever ever exist. I think it's kind of fun. That's like a fun way to play Kashtira. I'm just gonna play a couple more, and then kind of get the idea here. Pot of Prosperity obviously helps. I mean, the deck is fairly consistent, especially if you start your turn here. You're searching a bunch of cards, and then you activate Pot of Prosperity. Like, there's a very good chance you're gonna find, something really good like from your Kashtira engine. You have so many copies, and this is the thing, right? This deck is usually like kind of weak to imperm, and the Kashtira stuff can be like imperm magnets. So that like one interruption that your opponent has like isn't going to make a difference. You're going to have a ton of bodies here, which is really nice. There goes Numbers Protect. My opponent's imperm essentially did nothing at all. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this, but I do at least deck thin a little bit, give myself follow-up, whatever you want to call it. And then there we go. So F-Zero plus a Spell Negate plus an Omni Negate plus Numbers Protect. So I do have 2 Omnis technically for my opponent's 5 cards at this point. He's going to go for the Bestial. Everything's battle protected too. That's also like a big part of it. I can get rid of some of his outs. I just had this unicorn kind of laying there at this point. And yeah, he's going to try to attack into this. Obviously, it's going to go away. And then the Lubellion doesn't have anything to special summon itself. I still had Numbers Protect too. And then I'm just going to showcase one more. And then next time I'll probably show the deck profile and everything. The list is pretty tight though. I mean, I don't think I'm going to make too many changes, but I would like to look it over like maybe one more day. This is like an insane opening. You get everything that you want. I don't know if I mess up my end board again. There we go. I think this may be like the best version, the cleanest version of this end board. Let's see. This is great impermanent too, by the way, because both of these get to special summon themselves from the hand. It's really great bait. I can go ahead and bring that back with the coat. Go into Gallic Granite. I don't even know if I can use the Gallic Granite. Probably not. And in this case, I could have gone into Shangri Era. So yeah, every single one I messed up like uniquely. Because if they go for Shangri Era, then I can bring out Fenrir. Like all my board would be filled, and you know, having Shangri Era is pretty good. But it is interruption either way, so it's not that big of a deal. Right, I think Fenrir is probably a little bit better than an attachment from the graveyard. Although I guess you never know. Depends. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I can have the Alpha Master Beast. I think, again, everything's battle protected, not just your XYZ monsters. That's going to go ahead and blank pretty hard. I think he was just adding that to his hand. I don't really know why. But yeah, that's the end of the duel. So yeah, that's Kashtira-Utopia. It's a very, I think, interesting way to play the deck. It's probably one of the better versions of Utopia that there is. And just in terms of like being able to go first or second, right? You can still have like, I think like 9 spots for hand traps. Plus, of course, the Kashtira cards like Fenrir is very good going first or second. So it all kind of works out. I think it's better. That way, a Rise Heart's a little bit more useful. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.